Thanks again for checking out the Coding Fanatic YouTube channel. Head on over to codingfanatic.com and join our mailing list for weekly updates on Android tutorials, career advice, and more. So once again, head on over to codingfanatic.com and thanks for your support. Welcome back. It is with great gratitude and honor that I present to you the first version of the travel application. That's right, folks. It's done. It took me a very long time, the better part of a year, but I managed to push forward and not only complete the Salesman Travel Coding Kata, but turn it into a real-life application. And here's the demo to show you how it works. So, for starters, we have the main activity. This is our main menu. The whole purpose is to display the options which let us view the list of addresses and search the list of addresses. Quick background if you're new to the channel, the Salesman Travel Coding Kata challenges people to use Java code or use code to solve an issue where a salesman has a list of addresses, and given his nature of work, he has to be able to filter and search through this list by zip code and display the addresses with the corresponding entered zip code. So I figure, hey, why don't I turn this into a real application? And about a year later, here we are. So here we are in the main activity. Two options. We can view the list and we can search the list. So if we click on view list, this takes us to our list activity. Now this one displays the list of addresses being used using a list view, which is a view in Android that displays, well, what it sounds like, a list. So here we have 123 Main Street, Louisville, 432 Main Long Road, St. Louis Street, Louisville, and 786 High Street, Pollocksville. And let's go back to our main menu. And here the second option is to search the list. So when we click on this, it takes us to our search activity. Now, the whole purpose of this activity is it displays an edit text field where it prompts you to enter a zip code. And so what we're going to do is we're going to type in, let's take one of our zip codes here, Massachusetts 02134. 02134. And when we click on this enter key right here on the keyboard, it shows us the address with the corresponding zip code. And to display the regular list again, we just clear this entire field and click enter again. And here we are, back with our original list. If users click in this edit text and they enter anything that isn't a corresponding zip code, then the app simply returns a string that says no results found. And yeah, that's the functionality of our application. So I'll say that this activity here, which lets me search, this was the one that was required the most effort and the most of my attention. It was tough figuring out not only how to have an edit text that users can interact with, but then configuring this key here on the keyboard and getting the list to display underneath it and everything. I mean, it was a tough journey. But you know, that Salesman Travel Coding Kata, it helped me start writing code again. You know, to full disclosure, I was in a rough place in terms of my career plans, and things weren't going as I thought they would, and I wasn't sure what to do. In the past, I started Coding Fanatic as a means to take my learning and my understanding of software development into my own hands. But along the way, I sort of lost sight of that and put it on the back burner. So when I found myself in that place, I went on codingkata.com and I got a challenge. Actually, that's not true. I got a challenge from the Black Code Collective meetup group here in the DMV area, and I thought, hey, I'll give it a shot. And granted, they do weekly challenges, and it took me a little longer, but I finished it. And when I finished it, something just clicked, and I said, what if I turn this into an app? What would it look like? So I sat there with a piece of paper and I scribbled out some activities and some basic UI design just off the top of my head. And here we are a year later, or some months later, and I have the app completed. So it was definitely, it was tough, but it taught me to write my own code for parsing a string and obtaining information on addresses. I mean, this class alone, I had to write my own custom class that has its own methods specific to the project that I was working on, and that was the first time I did anything like that. So and funny thing is, last fall I took an intermediate Java course and online, and I already had the experience of writing my own class, so it was very helpful. But that's about everything with the application that I have the demo here. This is only the first version, and I do have some things I'd like to fix. If you are able to, there's actually an Easter egg in this video too. And tell me in the comments if you're watching this and you see tell me if you've noticed by now the little something is not quite right with this application just yet. Tell me what you notice. If you think you've caught it, put a comment in the comment section below, and we'll make this into a little game. So, but anyway, moving forward, I would like to keep working on this application. Like for instance, this data here these are strings that are hard coded into the home class, which is used to create the objects that are turned. It's used to create the objects used for displaying addresses within the list. So I'd like to find a better way to do this so that I can use a larger set of data. It's easy for now because I only have 3 addresses in the list at this time, but later on, what if I wanted to add 100 or 200 or 1,000? So I'll make some more changes to this moving forward. But I'll say that the next stage for this version of the app will be releasing it on the Play Store, so I can figure out how exactly to get this out there for people to download and try. And once I do, then I'll of course put it in a video, show you guys where you can get it, and include download links and everything. So this isn't quite the end of my time with the travel app. So I'll start anew with other projects soon, but I want to get a little more out of this before I move on. So that's about it. So thank you all so much for tuning in. If you like the video, hit like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and turn on notifications so you can see when I upload these videos. And also head on over to codingfanatic.com where you can join the mailing list so that you can see when I post new project updates and do demos like these and other things related to Android development. So, once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. And I really also, for the people who've rocked with me so far, thank you. I do appreciate it. I had a few people reach out and with some questions on how to do certain things, and I had a couple of people that have even looked at some of my videos, and they've left a couple comments saying like, hey, I would have done it, you did it this way, well, I would do it another way. So I appreciate all the feedback. It's all good as long as it's constructive, but I appreciate everyone's feedback. And I really didn't think that I would get to this point with this application. It was a long journey, but I did it, and now I'm going to keep on doing more. So once again, thank you all so much for tuning in. This is Richard Clark from codingfanatic.com signing out, and I will see you all on the next one. Peace.